way to the EOL farm. Look at that, I found some ancient debris. And now that the tunnel is done, I can decorate it.
Right. I need wood. Yeah, for the final time. Hopefully, final time I'm gonna get wood.
And that is everything placed down. The only one thing I do still need to do is grab these torches, craft loads of lanterns, and also some chains. Now to place them all down and add the lanterns below. I've also integrated this portal into the wall, and if I go through it, you'll see that it leads to this one on the desert. Much better than it was before. Anyway, let's get to placing these last lanterns down. And it is now complete. I can fly all the way through it, no problem at all. It's very, very spacious, and in my opinion...
So I'm gonna make a double chest since I have things to store.
That's for another day.
Maybe a triple one. I don't know that. All this wood will turn, most of this wood will turn into chests.
Then I can continue utterly destroying
Ah, 3.
There goes
Triple.
chain number 1, and all of this sand has filled up nearly 2 shulker boxes. With that, I can craft loads of TNT because I want to get another 10 blocks of netherite to get a step closer to the netherite beacon. And in order to do that, I'm going to need to dig a massive long tunnel, grab more sand so I can craft loads more TNT, and then place it all down. To get 10 blocks of netherite, I need about 5,000 TNT, so I'd better get to work. I've dug a massive tunnel, laced these walls with TNT, and now it's time to blow it all up so that lots of ancient debris can be collected. Just from doing the tunneling, I already had 42 pieces. To get the 10 netherite blocks, I'm only going to need 6 stacks in total. And already the first stack has been obtained, and there's still plenty more to be found. And that is 100 pieces now obtained, and there's plenty more still to go. That is 2 stacks obtained, and now I've got 3 stacks, and I'm only halfway through all of the tunnel. And with this, I've now got 4 stacks, so there's just 2 to go. Now that's 5 stacks down, 1 to go. And that is 6 stacks obtained, which is going to be 10 netherite blocks. It looks very nice indeed, but we're not stopping there. I've still got about 400 blocks left of this tunnel, and the end of the tunnel has now been reached. I have so much ancient debris. And another one! I just found another one as I'm leaving. I just can't do any wrong, there's 2 of them here. We'll make that 3. Sometimes when it's going for you, it's just going for you. All of these can go in here. I'm also going to need quite a lot of gold. What I've got in inventory should be enough. I'd also break my silk touch pickaxe before last mining the tunnels. Let's grab the necessary things to make a new one. That's all the books. Let's craft the pickaxe, use the anvil, and use a precious ingot to upgrade it. And whilst I've been doing that, my ancient debris has nearly fully smelted. I also should have been using the XP to mend my pickaxe, so that's a little bit of a waste. Now the grand reveal. How many ingots do we get? Okay, look at that. How many stacks? Okay, we got over 100 ingots, and we got 11 blocks of netherite. That's 1 more than I was intending to get, which doesn't sound like much, but that's an extra 36 ancient debris worth, so it is quite a lot. Now for the satisfaction to place it all down. It's not actually that satisfying at all, but we have almost done the bottom layer. 16 blocks to go. I might be able to do that in the next episode, even though it would take a lot of TNT. I also think I'd like to add a little bit more gold to this golden mountain, you know, it's not quite finished. But to get the blocks for that, I'm going to need to go to the gold farm. I'll be glad when I've mined a tunnel straight there, but for now I'm going to have to manually fly through all these nooks and crevices. Here it is. Now to AFK here and watch the magic happen. I got loads and loads of nuggets from that, which is going to get me loads and loads of blocks. And if you ask me, 4.5 stacks of gold blocks is pretty good. Because I'm feeling kind, I'm going to send some gold down to those piglins. Just don't spend it all at once, fellas. And with these gold blocks, I can add a bit more to the mountain. And that is quite a bit more of the mountain done, really. I've more or less done all of this side. Just don't look at it from the back. It exploits everything. And so in this video, I do want to build a super duper new and improved super smelter. But the first thing I have to do before that is to sort out my fuel situation. I could use lava, I could use coal. I mean, I've already got loads of coal anyway. But I think the best thing that I could use is blaze rods. And I do have a blaze farm, but it's just based off 1 spawner. It's way too slow. I mean, just look at that. I'm getting like 1 mob every 10 seconds. It's no good. So I'm thinking instead I create something much more powerful. Some sort of fortress farm in the nether perimeter. But the important thing is I need it to not interfere with the gold farms race. So I've actually designed my own farm that I can switch on and off. I'm very much looking forward to building it, but because it is my own design, there's always a chance that it could go very wrong. So first things first, fortress mechanics. As you can see, there is a fortress right here, and it does go into the perimeter. I just destroyed it when I blew it up. And fortresses are made up of bounding boxes, and in certain areas of that bounding box, you can place any block and a mob will spawn on it. And in other areas, you can place nether brick and a mob will spawn on it. So even though the fortress didn't originally come over here, the massive bounding blocks around the entire structure did. And if I build over in this direction, these blocks that I've placed can now spawn fortress mobs. And so this is where I shall build the farm. Although all these bricks right here aren't necessary at the moment. Look at that, a blaze did spawn. Okay, I'm so glad to see you. You have no idea. It means my plan is actually working. Sorry guys, but all three of you are going to have to go. And I'm instead going to start placing pistons along here. And then this next layer is where the portal's going to be. And it's going to be the maximum height it can be. Now the next task is to light it, spawn-proof it with glass, and I can continue with the redstone. These observers along here are going to detect if a mob spawns. That will then trigger the redstone from behind and extend the piston. As you can see, they will push them in when they spawn. So now we'll do the exact same thing on this side. For now, this portal doesn't need to be lit. It's just kind of annoying me. But I did say I wanted a way to turn this farm on and off so that if I want to use the gold farm, the fortress farm doesn't affect the rates. Doing that is going to be very, very simple. We're just going to use redstone lamps. You see, for mobs to spawn, they need light level 11 or less. So when the lights are on, this farm can't spawn anything. Magma cubes can spawn in any light, but they need a 3-block high gap. So yeah, it's completely foolproof. It's been fun. So all that leaves me to do is just keep repeating this over and over again. And this farm is going to have multiple layers, so I can also layer it up like this and repeat everything above. Whilst of course remembering to spawn proof the stuff below. Whilst fortress mobs can't spawn on these blocks, I think general mobs that can spawn this biome can, so I can't forget about anything. It is coming along nicely. I've linked the redstone up using glass like that, but I'm now out of redstone lamps. So because of that, I'm going to head back home, buy a load more redstone, and then I can craft plenty more. I'm also spending a bit of time mining up some glowstone, which is more interesting than just AFK and get a raid farm. Now with all the extra glowstone, I can make way more lamps. I don't know if there'll be enough lamps for the entire build, but it'll get me well on the way. Layer 2 is complete. Let's get on with the next one. I'm just going to test out all the redstone connects to the lights to see if it's working. Looks like the signal does kind of run out when it gets higher up. I've even some torches like this, which I think have extended it. If I turn it back off, it's all working as intended. Just wiring the redstone up to the lights on this side, and that is everything now wired up. Now I can start building another of these towers. And I am now starting to run out of resources for this, such as observers, which I have now run out of. So you can see how it is looking so far, pretty good. And now I'm going to fly back home to get all of the other needed resources. And that will also include spending a bit of time AFK at the raid farm. I spent a bit of time getting loads and loads of resources, and this is absolutely everything that I'm going to need to finish the build. This farm is actually a much bigger project than I first expected. It requires a lot of resources, and the width of it is going to be all the way to the edge of this second chunk. Just high enough so it doesn't interfere with the farm below. Because I'll be AFKing up above the bedrock, this farm won't be working while I'm up there, since it'll be too far out of range. Even though this portal is right on the edge of the chunk, it will still just about be in range. And so this will be the farm's full length, but I'm also going to recreate this, well, blazes spawning, along in this direction as well, which means this pillar right here is going to have to go. I also maybe shouldn't have built so many spawn platforms. I'm going to get spawned with blazes, aren't I? But just to stop this mob spawning, I am going to place a bunch of lamps and light them up, and that should be enough. And rather than building all of that floor, I'm just going to work on building up these platforms more. I can continue getting rid of this pillar and continue building up the farm. It is pretty straightforward. The only bit that's a little bit annoying is building up the redstone on the side, but because I've already got it in the middle here, I don't actually need it on that bit. I can just place the lamps across the top, hook it up to the redstone that's already there. Unfortunately on this side I don't really have that luxury, but I can still do something like, well, not like that, but rather like this, and then I can continue building up. And that is yet another layer complete. Just one more right here to go. And that is all of the layers on this portal done. So now it's time to rinse, repeat, and just keep going. It's been an absolute grind, but I've still not finished it. As you can see, it is absolutely massive and it is not far off being done, but I've completely run out of glass. So because of that, I'm going to fly all the way back home, grab some gunpowder, and also trade for more redstone whilst I'm in the area. Next, I'm going to head back to the desert, fly down a very long tunnel, and go through this portal that takes me to the desert. And now I can mine up a bit of sand, craft some TNT, place it all down, and blow up the area. But not this rabbit. Run, little rabbit, run! Now that I've got a shulker box worth of sand, I can set it all off smelting, buy even more redstone, and then I can go back to collecting even more sand. All this is going to be enough, and I'm just going to put it in storage for now, since there's already more than enough glass that has been smelted. So I've topped up on plenty of items, which means it's time to get back to work. And that is yet another column complete. Just one more to go. Once I activate this farm, it is going to run pretty fast. But if I wanted to run it even faster, I can build more portals on top of these ones and repeat everything and make it go even higher. This is roughly another 16 blocks until I'm out of the fortress's bounding blocks. I of course, be testing the farm out before I even think about expanding it. So it's just good to know these things for future reference. There we go. We are now on to the final layer. This has been a pretty massive project, but I'm very glad that this part of it is at least almost finished. And we're so close to finishing, but I need like 6 more redstone lamps. My goodness, if only I was in a place where I could get glowstone. Oh wait, I'm in the nether. You can get glowstone anywhere. Let's get mining. I only got 6 pieces. It's the bare minimum I got to mine anymore. I'm just excited to finish this phase of the farm. It has taken hours and hours to build. I completely underestimated how long it would take to make it. I was going to tell you a nice design, but it was too complicated getting nether brick underneath the slice portals and stuff. And I was like, oh, it's just as fast as we
out of the way, I'm going out.
I was very much mistaken. Not to worry though, I can just now light up all of these portals, and then I can begin the next phase of the farm. First involves getting rid of this portal, and then flying about 100 blocks in this direction. I'm at a pretty precise location, and right here I want to build up about 75 blocks. This right here is the very precise location that I will be building the portal, and there's going to be another portal directly on top of it. Let's line them both up, and also place glass behind this one. I build a little bit of a platform. Now when mobs come through this portal, obviously they're going to kind of be just standing, chilling. And once enough have come through, they're all going to start to push each other along, and that's the mechanic I'm going to use to get them up to that portal. Now bring it around like this, and now I need the stairs. Yes, to get upwards to this portal, the mobs are going to push each other up these stairs. And you got to remember, once a mob has gone through a portal, actually, I've done this right. I was really in full flow there, wasn't I? I think it's going to be a good idea to extend this by 1 and then move, just move the stairs like that. And as I was explaining earlier, before I started to doubt myself, once a mob has come through a portal, so once they come through this portal, they can't go through another portal for 30 seconds. So that's why they're slowly being pushed along. It's going to take like 1 to 2 minutes. So by the time they eventually do get up to this portal, they'll be able to head back through. All of that should now be perfect. I'm just kind of conserving the glass that I can see. Let's place a few more right here and head back through. Now, I seem to be trapped in my own device, so mining out is my only option. And now I need to go above the bedrock to build the other portal. It's day 3, 4, 5, 6. We haven't had one of those since 2, 3, 4, 5. Anyway, let's just build the portal that the mobs are going to return through. And because we're all the way up here, the gold farm is now no longer working, which is how I will successfully split the 2 farms. And just to finish the chamber underneath that, I am going to head back home because I'm going to need some chests and hoppers.
I'm just going to steal from this village.
Grab 4 slabs.
Let's do this one. Found out. I'm just steal from villagers on it.
This big tower seemed like a good idea at the time, but now it makes it really hard for me to spot where the bedrock hole is. So putting some sort of tower back in is probably a good idea. I'd also like to spawn proof the top of this, land on this single piece of glass, build this a little bit more, and then the chest can go like this, with hoppers into that, slabs on top of the hoppers, and if I block that up and put a couple of trapdoors, that will make me completely safe from any of the blaze and stuff like that. And I'm also going to put another chest underneath and then hoppers into that, just as a little extra storage. And I think it's ready to test. I don't know what else could be done. But to make the farm work, I need to flick this lever, which is in a very, very awkward place. I will move it when it when it needs to be, but you know what, do we just extend this platform a little bit? Hopefully that should make life a little bit easier. So if I do that, the farm should now be working. I can get up here easily because I can see the glass. So now whenever a mob spawns, the piston will push it straight into the portal, and in about 1 to 2 minutes, it should come through here. So as I'm waiting here, and the mobs are going through the portals, I'll show you in replay mode what's happening on the other side. The mobs are spawning in this portal, and eventually they all pop out, and as more and more mobs come through the portal, they're slowly going to push each other along. And eventually they will all go up the stairs and start going through the portal. And that's where I can take them out on the other side. And you can just see from the speed of it, look like mobs are constantly coming through. Like, I'm never running out. It's probably a good XP farm if I just sped it up a little bit more as well. And I've only been sat here for about a minute taking out these mobs. I kind of want to see just how much stuff we have already got. Look at that, nearly over a stack of blaze rods. Obviously I'm going to be getting gold swords and stuff like that. I will make a proper sorter to deal with all the items, but when I've been looking in those chests, loads and loads more mobs have spawned, which has led to me getting a second stack of blaze rods nearly already.
Well, this video's almost finished.
For, you know, I don't know, 20 minutes, half an hour, maybe a bit longer, and just get millions and millions of blaze rods. This may be one of the most favourite farms that I have ever made.
What?
Time has passed, and as you can see, I am now completely overrun with items. I'm pretty sure that's because of what, all these gold swords are kind of blocking things up a bit. But on the positive side,
what?
I have got. I couldn't
Yeah.
pick them and don't come through here, but I feel like it's working.
Sorry, that was just me talking to my mum.
I might work out some sort of design with it. But anyway, that is, yeah, that is
Yep.
what we've got.
That's 99.
I just fly onto this platform, click this